Dove Cameron, she is an actress and a singer. You may know her from, actually, I have no idea what the hell you would know her from. I know her because she played Patrick Jane's teenage daughter in exactly one episode of The Mentalist in like 2010.
She was a former Disney kid who was on that show Liv and Maddie, which I was too old to have watched. But
before your time or after your time?
It was after my time watching Disney Channel. I don't even think kids are watching Disney Channel anymore because they just watch Cocomelon and like other suspicious YouTube channels. But
the pipeline.
Yeah, now she is like trying her very hardest to have a rebellious phase, even though there's nothing left to rebel against.
They always rebel in the most
And you know that Miley
ways.
did it better than you anyway.
Yes.
So why even try?
So the headline...
The theme now is doing music videos about how good you're doing after your divorce.
Yeah.
That's like the meta.
But she's not at that point yet.
She's too young for that. The headline...
Give her a week.
The headline reads...
Miley's is like try hard for though, yeah.
And Shakira did it too. Shakira's on like her third song is like, I'm fine.
Yeah, like we believe you.
The more you have to say it, the less likely that proves to be true. The headline reads, Dove Cameron is making music for everyone except for straight men. At least she left race out of it.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Progress.
She's talking about like the type of environment she has at her concerts where she doesn't want to alienate listeners or potential concert attendees.
Unless they're straight men.
It just sounds like a normal business strategy that you wouldn't want to alienate people. She said, you don't have to be a part of the queer community to come enjoy my music. It's my aspiration to make music that everybody can enjoy, except for straight men.
Teehee.
And there's no qualifying, there's no context. That was all she said. And then they made it into the headline, of course, because they wanted to make it as inflammatory as possible.
You could have easily made that. I saw another headline that says, Dove Cameron wants to make music for everyone.
Well, that's the self-own in it, is like, yes, you don't make music for straight men, but you don't make music for anyone because nobody listens to your music. It's completely irrelevant. You don't make music for gay men or straight women or anybody.
But pop music, look, when young men make pop music, it's geared towards women. When young women make pop music, it's geared towards women.
That women just overall like pop music.
The pop music.
More.
And right now, women are far more likely to end up, or actually, I don't know if I can't back that up. It's like, is it like more
we
women
do fake news here.
More women are going through identity crisis at a younger age now that would predominantly, that may put them in the LGBTQ
If we're talking about
community.
identity crises, I think that's affecting young people on the whole.
Yeah.
Not just women, but I guess there's no way to really quantify that.
I just miss the days when marketing would try to like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you reach for as many people as possible? Now they're like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you sector yourself off into the smallest subset of the smallest community possible? Because you know what it might be?
No, but they think that is mass appeal. They think white liberals will be like, it's not for me. Guess I must support them.
But you know what it might be? Actually, it might be like, you know when you're like trying to build a social media following, like Kyle in South Park. No, there was that stand in South Park when the prince and princess are outside his house.
Kyle.
Was it Kyle? They always talk about how you have to find your niche. Like that's the big thing for getting ahead in social media is you have to have a niche of some sort. You have to have some type of either a hobby or something that you can tap into that's your focus. And maybe that's just how they see this. They're just filling a niche for people to focus on.
It's a filled niche, though.
But niche and niche are different, right? Yes,
okay.
they are.
Well, it's a filled niche.
Yeah. So the idea is like, look, otherwise you're just plain boring female musician who's not Billie Eilish #2. But now you can be plain boring who's not Billie Eilish #2 who's gay.
I've never heard a Dove Cameron song until you started playing a snippet
It's so
of
bad.
one this morning. And I thought that it was blatantly like a Walmart brand version of Billie Eilish.
It was.
You leave Walmart
Billie
out of this.
Eilish, who I don't even listen to or enjoy because it's just someone whispering at you.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Is there a part where it breaks up into like a rap lyric briefly?
No, not in this song.
She had like
That'll be on album #2.
who was on the song with her? Khalid.
Yeah.
There's always
He's a rapper, right?
I mean, is that
Something?
really rap? That's like
I don't know.
proto R&B.
But like
Proto R&B.
this is something that
Modern
literally
R&B.
everyone is doing, but she's acting like she's bringing something new to the table because she's a man hater. Like all of her songs are about hating men.
Imagine how much you have to not be on the internet to think that you're the first person doing that.
She has this song called Breakfast that was like really like try hard, edgy.
What is it about? Eggs?
Talking about yeah, it's about like French toast or waffles
Bacon!
or pancakes.
Yeah.
No, but it's about like eating men, like
Goodness.
eating them, and like with like really stupid like wannabe.
Some real bell curve stuff.
Yeah, like there was not like any graphic violence or anything, but there was this music video she made for it, which was like politically charged because of Roe v. Wade. It's like a Roe v. Wade inspired music video.
There's no way she wrote the song.
Well, yeah, I mean, she seems like an industry plant, but like, if your shtick is being man-hating and queer baiting, and all you talk about is that, and like how much you love abortion, are you really all that interesting? It just seems like a giant cope.
It's literally every piece of media conceivable.
And she's 27. Like, you're too old to even think that that's cool, you know?
Is she 27?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like, to me, this is one of those things where it's just like if you make 1,000 versions of it, there's a lot of people to reach, and you just find the subsect of those people that like her, right? Like, you'll just find the 5,000 people that liked her from Disney Channel.
Probably like Korean, like weeaboos or whatever.
Yeah.
Koreaboos.
All these
Yeah,
specific-
that's what they are. Koreaboos.
Yep.
Because
Koreaboos.
she has like crazy amounts of plastic surgery to the
She's-
point where she looks unrecognizable.
It's a shame. Like, I rewatched that episode of her where she was on the Mentalist, and she was just such a wholesome looking person back then, and now she's just
she
looks
had a
almost
unique
unrecognizable.
face, and then
Yeah.
she got a bunch of injectables, and she got a nose job, and she got like the eye lift and everything,
Yeah.
and she looks nothing like she used to, which just shows like you're trying to erase anything unique
so by
about
old, you
yourself to
mean
become what an industry wants you to be.
By old, you mean she's just old for the genre she's picked for
No, I
the
mean,
way she's going.
at 27, you should probably know that like being cool to 17-year-olds isn't the pinnacle of your existence.
Yeah, but
right?
the goal isn't to make it the pinnacle of her existence. The goal for her is to make a lot of money.
Not really.
Unless
I mean,
you're PewDiePie.
that's because she's actively alienating people that could like her music. So it's not really about making as much money as possible. She's already made her money. It's just about feeling like she is some kind of figurehead of it's like Youngblood, you know, like
Yeah.
Youngblood, like being a figurehead of this like underrated youth generation that's gonna change the world or whatever.
I just feel
like we're gonna change the world.
I just feel like the same two gay guys are everyone's public relations agents.
Could be.
And they're like, so this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna say it's not for straight guys.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be so disconnected from like something like from the zeitgeist? Like, how would you like in order to stand out, you need to sort of be like Maddie Healy now.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then you have to find out how you can toe the line and cross it every so often.
Yeah.
Where you're allowed to cross it every so often, but not so much, and then pull yourself back. It's a harder game.
Like, you can only make fun of like effeminate liberal men in so far as you're self-deprecating for being one.
Yeah, like as long as it reflects back on you, that's fine. Which is actually perfect for them because they love self-flagellation. So it's actually right up their alley.
Yeah, I mean, this girl also, she was born to an acting coach and the CEO of a trading company. So you're a nepotism baby.
Her guilt runs deep.
That
I'm
was
sure.
sown into this industry from birth, and you've done everything that they expected you to do.
And
like, you've performed the tasks. Thank you for your service.
And the industry has, I'm sure, instilled a lot of guilt for her being a privileged woman in the industry.
She's also white,
like,
so of
yes.
course she can't say like except straight white males.
Yeah.
She can only say straight men because it's easier to adopt like the identity of being bisexual
Actually,
because you
I
don't need
know.
to prove it.
I don't know. Like, I think she would have been okay to just say straight white. They don't care if they hate themselves like that. If anything, she could be called racist for saying this. for not specifying straight white males.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been seeing more like gay white people get hate for thinking that their gayness outweighs
Their privilege.
their privilege of being white.
It must be a very very
But she also
exhausting way to live.
increasingly with all of these plastic surgery procedures looks more racially ambiguous.
I feel like we have enough data where we can finally solve for X. You know what I mean? Like we can finally solve like, okay, so white is minus this, gay is plus this, lesbian is
I know
plus...
there have been attempts,
Just
but no
run a calc.
conclusive system for it. But she kind of reminds me of like Ariana Grande, I guess, like someone who can be molded into anything.
Yeah, but Ariana Grande seems like better at her job.
Yeah, I mean, she can like pretty much chameleon into any race and any music genre and any aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like she is the definition of an industry plant because any management team can pick her up and make her into something new until they run out of cartilage to shave off of her face.
So this is her quote. She
That was
says,
kind of dark. Sorry.
This is her quote. Yeah, has she gotten the buccal fat one yet?
Probably.
She says, "I'm talking about heartache, but also about things like losing a parent at a young age, losing two of my best friends to really intense middle of the night phone calls, kind of deaths, eating disorders, and all of this stuff that I've never really been able to put to melody. Like these are all things that could be, if not universal, have a broader appeal than making your music about just sexuality and who you can exclude. It just seems like there used to be an art about focusing on how to promote yourself. That would have been what we would actually call inclusive, but might have just been called good marketing rather than that word."
The thing is, I feel it's such a failed attempt because there's so many artists that are going along this line. But still, I think the highest paid actor is The Rock. And what is his strategy? Mass appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to be successful or do you want to be snooty?
I think he might have been passed up last year, though I don't remember by who.
I don't know.
That's a quick Google.
Jamie, look that up.
Black Adam wasn't good for him.
No,
it wasn't
not
a good outcome. I want to like draw a comparison between like the Powerpuff Girls and Dove Cameron.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be playing Bubbles in the live action adaptation of
which has
Powerpuff
gone through
Girls.
multiple incarnations because they made a version that was apparently
Tom Cruise.
Okay, there you go. So apparently they made a version of that pilot that was so bad they basically buried it underneath the studio. They're like, get it out of here. Yeah, I need
to see that and Batgirl. But anyway, like if you think about it, Powerpuff Girls, the animated series, had so much popularity because it was just like genuine positivity and girl power and innocence and like humor.
Yeah.
And it was so uncomplicated and not like mentally ill.
Made at a time where things were just easier.
Yeah. Things were just simpler. And now, we have one of those characters being played by someone who made what she herself marketed as an anti-man anthem. Like, you're so hateful inside that you don't have Sugar Spice or Everything Nice inside you to embody the character like that.
It's funny.
Also, it's just contributing to this ever-increasing pile of single millennial women that now have a bunch of songs to sing to themselves and their cats.
It's not hard to believe that like the pharmaceutical industry is like funding this. Like, let's keep them on antidepressants and buying cat food for the next 100 years.
Ugh, someone like this is just so like spiritually empty. Like this other headline about her says, Dove Cameron said dyeing her hair brunette was a total identity shift.
I forgot about
and
that.
a reclamation of her identity. Can you imagine like being such an empty person that you assign your entire identity as a person to your hair color?
I can't imagine.
It's kind of like
you're so boring and you don't even know that you're boring because everyone around you is celebrating you and writing headlines about the fact that you dyed your hair.
Like she's taken that feeling you get when you go to school to the first day of school with your new school clothes and you feel cool for the first time in a long time and adding like actual significance to it.
It was a reclamation of deciding who I was versus who I felt I had to be.
Wow.
She felt she had to be blonde.
As if the blonde bombshell is even the avatar of a hot woman these days. It's not anymore. Now it is the racially ambiguous Kim Kardashian lookalike.
It's like Sam Smith.
It was
with
never Dove
pasties.
Cameron.
Yeah.
And even if it was, like, she wasn't that when she was blonde.
I mean, hot blondes are doing fine, I think.
I'm just saying the avatar of, like, the sexy woman in this country, at least, is no longer the blonde bombshell.
I mean, in Brad Dasovic's house, yeah. It's definitely Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, it's the racially ambiguous,
Congresswoman.
like,
Hey.
Kim Kardashian lookalike that's, like, kind of stuffed into a sausage casing.
Damn.
You know?
The clothing or the skin? Which one?
Anyway, I'm
both.
intrigued.
Both. Yeah.
The funny thing is what you were
She
talking
said,
about.
I have genuine emotional pain attached to being a blonde.
Okay, well.
Like, can you just stop? Like, come up with having an actual problem, like a real suffering in life.
I mean, all of this goes back to the fact that people
Oh
these
my
days have no
gosh.
perspective about actual suffering, so they have to
Roe v.
attribute-
Wade getting overturned was like literally the end of the world for them.
Yeah.
No,
Even if they had never gotten an abortion.
It was the best day of their lives, I'm sure.
Because they get to talk.
Yeah.
Oh
they get
yeah,
something
new reason to
about.
complain.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, finally.
It's funny what you were saying about the Powerpuff Girls, because I've been watching this show called The Pretender from like 1996. It's very cheesy. It's amazing. And there's this character in it named Miss Parker. And she is the most, if you made this show even 10 years later, it would be the most insufferable character in the entire world. She's extremely like she's beautiful, but she acts domineering. She's cold, she's callous, she's not maybe that's why, because she's not snarky, she's just rude. And it's like in today's day and age, you expect them to be snarky and rude rather than just rude. But she's like everything that you expect what Hollywood makes these strong women characters to be now, but it's somehow less insufferable just because it was made in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Like whether it's how they respond to her or it's because it was less common at the time, there's just something less annoying. But all of these people want to be able
It's
to
less triumphant. That's the thing.
Yes.
The tone of it is less like
I wonder how
bullying.
many.
Yeah.
I wonder how many comedies in the future are gonna be about older women that are ragging on their girlfriends for having kids and they can't go out at night and go to MILF Island or something.
Dove Cameron will star in that in 15 years.
I mean, most certainly.
What if she doesn't have a kid though?
Well, she's
that's
the
the
other
point, yeah.
she's the one that stars in it because she's the one ragging on the people with kids, like Chelsea Handler.
Okay.
I guess Chelsea Handler wasn't ragging on people with kids. She was ragging on.
I mean, she kind of was though, in every way except for explicitly saying.
I mean, if ever a cope, that was one.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.